Good afternoon. This one today is making Cajun chicken in one pot, which is really nice. You can see here that I've decided to start the fire about 3 hours before I start cooking. In this particular recipe, you need a nice hot oven before you start cooking at all. So I've lit up the cardboard. I'm getting some kindling to get it going, some small kindling, and then I'll slowly build it up into more and more. This fire actually didn't take very well. I think the kindling was a bit too thick, so I went and got, lucky for me, we've got a big pine tree on our property, so I went and got some pine cones which burn quite easily and added them to the fire to get the kindling going a lot quicker. Once they started burning, kindling took off, and I very quickly was able to build a decent fire, building up the sizes of the wood from smaller pieces of hardwood, and then finally some eucalypt logs, common as we call it in Australia, and got it nice and hot. You'll notice that I've got when I close the door, the front vent open, I've got the damper pushed backwards, and I've got the bottom vent open. That's to get the maximum air in until it's going really well. And then I'll close off the bottom vent of the oven so that the oven begins to heat up, and pull the damper forward so none of the heat's going up the chimney. Then we're making the chicken. It's a pretty simple recipe really. This is potatoes, and then I have onion and garlic which I've soaked in chicken stock. I really would probably not use the chicken stock next time because it created too much moisture once the chicken and the potatoes were cooking. I'd probably just put some chicken stock cube sprinkled over the top of the potatoes without adding the water. But there's lots of pepper and salt. And what I do is I also grate some parmesan over the potatoes and onion, and then I put the chicken on. Now I've bought a whole chicken here, and I've split it into two wings, two legs with thighs, and two breasts, all with the bone in. I think the flavour with the bone in is better in this particular instance, so I put them on top. Spread them out evenly. Then I'll put some oil on and sprinkle my Cajun spices onto the chicken, not onto the potatoes and onion. I just find it's too much Cajun spice if you have it on the potatoes as well, whereas the chicken really absorbs the flavours of the Cajun spices really well, especially if you crisp up the skin, which you'll see me do towards the end. What I then do is, so the potatoes and the chicken cook in the juice, I put tin foil over the top, and for the first part of the cook I put it just below the middle of the oven, and I let the fire stay on high, and by doing that it gets some heat into the pot pretty quick and keeps the moisture in. And then towards the end you'll notice that I take the tin foil off and let the chicken skin brown. Okay, so we'll take that outside. Bottom vent's closed, and I have closed the top vent actually because the temperature gauge showed that it was quite hot. There's my touch test. Put it in, as I said, below the middle of the oven, closed off the top fire. Then I'll open it up again later. I've let it cook for an hour, Then I open it up and have a look, and it's cooking beautifully. So I add another log to the fire, close the bottom, open the top, and let it brown off. And you can see here that when I take it out, it's beautifully cooked. And it is quite delicious, but I think I'd probably parboil the potatoes next time just to make them super soft, because that's how I like them.